Hello everyone, and I thought I'd just do a bit of a test video as I want to sort of delve a little bit more into producing video content, especially content talking about my favourite subject in all of Digimon, the Digimon virtual pets. So this is more of a tester, so I would really appreciate any feedback, where it be how I present things, how the flow of topic and discussion, or the topics I cover, or the quality of the video or anything. Please provide any feedback about that, because I'm all ears for any of that feedback. Because as I said, this is a completely new territory. I've been doing the podcast for over 5 years now, and I just want to delve and branch out into producing video content such as this. So today we'll be talking about one of, I can't say favourite because that'd be a lie, but definitely a virtual pet that is something. It's definitely something that, there are words that cannot describe this virtual pet. So I will be talking about the Pendulum Cycle. So this is a Bandai Asia invention, which is to continue on from the original Digital Monster series. So the Digital Monster series in Bandai Asia, and that includes Australia, was the version 6, which covered the nature spirits. Now, Bandai Asia decided to continue on from the nature spirits version 6 with another series that was pendulum based in a very ovular shape. So this series was called the Pendulum Cycle. So the Pendulum Cycle was released with 4 versions. So we have the version 7, which is the Deep Savers, which is based off the pendulums of the originals, which was the version 2. So we have our Deep Savers here. There was then the version 8, which would cover what the original pendulum covered, which was Nightmare Soldiers. And we have the version 9, which covered version 4 of the pendulum, the Wind Guardians. And then we had the version 10, which covered the version 5 of the pendulum, which was the Metal Empire. So it was never given a version 11, which would have been the Zero or the Virus Busters. So we just have these 4, thankfully. So first of all, the weird thing about this pet is that it reverts to the child or rookie stage at bedtime every day, hence the name Pendulum Cycle. So we've got Pendulum, which is the shake, and we've got Cycle, which is the evolution cycle. It reverts to child. So that's something that means that you can get all the way up to Super Ultimate or Mega, or however you want to call the highest forms of evolutions, in just one day. So the other interesting, unique thing is something that I found out about 5 years ago on the With the Will forums, when we were trying to work out how these things actually evolved, because from what I could find, no one on the internet knew. And that was that these evolve not due to anything else we've ever seen before, but primarily evolved due to weight requirements. Now, I'm helping out the Digimon research project at the moment and trying to work out what the exact requirements are for each evolution. So, for each evolution, there's a different evolution requirement. That's not anything that's new to any of the Digimon virtual pets. But this time it involves weight. So most of the time the weight more or less makes sense. For the version 8, 9 and 10, we have the Digimon when they're in their baby 2 forms. They evolve to Virus if a low weight, Data if they're on a sort of mid-range weight, so about 15 to about 25 pounds. And then we have Vaccine, which is roughly about 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. And if you have bad care, it also becomes a virus type. So it's a little bit different to other virtual pets. And then we have a more recent discovery, which is the fact that these Digimon also evolve with overfeeding, which, again, that's not too unique to Digimon. We've had Digimon who evolved due to overfeeding before this. That's fine. So there's a couple of weird, different idiosyncrasies to this pet, but it's definitely something that's new. It's definitely something that Bandai Asia really wanted to make their own, and boy did they. So there's also Jogress in this, which means two Digimon can form to make another Digimon. So we have evolutions that were Jogress only in the Pendulum can be raised on these devices, which is pretty cool. So more or less the growth chart is the same as the Pendulum, except there's actually an additional level after Ultimate or Mega, which is your Ultra, your Super Ultimate, or just your Mega 2. And these are more or less being called secret Megas by a lot of people, so I prefer the level Ultra, but they are your secret Megas. And what these are is when you Jogress 2 Megas, you can get any of the additional secret Megas that weren't available on the original Pendulum. So that's another thing that's pretty cool about these pets, is that you can get Digimon such as Ancient Greymon, Ancient Garurumon, Ancient Sphinxmon, Valkyriemon, and a couple of others. Unfortunately, no Ancient Arismon, which is kind of a bummer, but yeah, you can get some Ancient Digimon, which is fairly unique to this device. Another thing that's pretty cool is that if we go to the Connect, we can see we've got Versus and we've got Scan. And after Scan, we have Jogress. So when we go to Scan, we can actually connect with a D-terminal, a D-gather, or a D-spirit. So we'll open up our D-terminal, and this is obviously the English release of the D-terminal, and we go to Connect. And if we connect these two, we can actually see information about the Digimon that we are owning, which is very handy because some of the sprites are a little bit different to what you would expect. There's Big Mamemon, for example, is a huge just ball. It doesn't really necessarily look like Big Mamemon, but if you think about it, regular Mamemon's a small black sprite. So I guess a big black sprite should be Big Mamemon. We've got Debbie Tamamon, which is using the D3 sprite work, which is more closely resembling the original Digimon design winner. So that's pretty nifty. So that was just a bit of an introduction to the Pendulum Cycle. As I said, please give me any feedback you can about me creating these videos. I'd like to create more. I really like the virtual pets, and I would really like to have a forum to be able to talk about them more, because I never really got to on the podcast. The podcast was always just the anime or just maybe occasionally the video games, but never virtual pets, which is actually my favourite part of the franchise. And so please let me give me some criticism about how I can do this better, so I can continue just talking about virtual pets, because it's a topic that I could just cover for forever. It's my favourite topic to talk about, and no one will listen to me. So please give me feedback. I'd like to cover more about these. I'm raising all 4 of them at the moment because I'm insane. And also to help out the Digimon Research Project, I will link everything I can in the description. If you have a pendulum, please help us, because the requirements are kind of unusual, because weight requirements. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope this was okay for my first attempt at like a video review discussion